Hello everybody. I'm a couple of minutes early tonight. Hope everyone's had a good Monday and a good weekend. Hi Glenda. Hi Julianne. Hopefully everyone had a nice weekend. Yes, I had a good weekend. It was a busy weekend, Glenda. So lots going on at the moment. I cut my class for, hi Kerry. I cut my class, my July stamp set class, which was nice because I've fallen a bit behind with classes. I was nearly 2 months ahead, but it's a bit hard to do that when you've got a retiring catalogue and things like that because we don't know what's retiring. Oh, that's no good, Julie. Hi, Megan. So, and then I was lucky enough to get some time on Sunday afternoon to do some crafting. Hi, Lisa. For myself. I don't often get to craft for no reason, really. Like usually I'm doing classes or whatever. Hi, Jane. So it was nice to be able to craft, and I'll show you what I did. Just found my bone folder and it's a bit dirty, so I'm just cleaning that. Hi, Helen. So I had a bit of a play. I created this card because I've had this stamp set, Nothing's Better Than, and I've had so many ideas run through my head, but I haven't to date used it. The only stamp that I had used was these chocolates. So I'm waiting on mine too, Julie. I ordered mine the same day that I ordered a couple of customer orders, and I was contacted today and one of those customers has received theirs, and I'm like, man, I haven't got mine. I was hoping mine had come today. So I had a bit of a play with that and came up with this. So I was pretty happy with that, playing with the new in colours and the textured embossing folder. Hi, Jess. And then I had a birthday party that Hunter got invited to, and we realised that we didn't have too many kids style birthday cards left. So I had fun making, and I made 4 of these. So one's got a pink hat, the rest have got the orangey hat. Hi, Carrie. So I made 4 of them, the same layout. What day did you order? That was Tuesday last week. I was kind of expecting it to happen. Be here by now, but anyway. So I made 4 of those, and then I also made these, and this is the card we're going to make tonight. So this is using the Stella Birthday, which I just love. Really love that. And so I made, this was my first one and my first galaxy background, and then as I got better at them, they got a bit darker, and I like them darker. So I made 3 mango melody ones, and I've made 2 polished pink ones, and we're going to make the 3rd polished pink one tonight. So, and they turn around. My nails are a bit long and I'm struggling to do that, so it works. They're just a bit thick, my nails. I want them a bit thinner. But this turns around as well. So that's what we're going to make tonight. I have realized after I've got a few tips and tricks for everybody, because I'm a bit of a control freak and I've tried galaxy backgrounds before another way and I didn't like how they turned out. So I'm using something very unconventional. I'm using this stamp set out of the Artistically inked. I'm off screen, am I? Hopefully that works. Because I've tried with them previously and the blending thing doesn't work so much for me, and I don't like it so much. So this worked a treat for me. So what we're gonna do is, I've obviously got my blending brush. Oh, sorry. And I haven't bought the Stampin' Up! Brads because I have 10,000 brads already, and I want to use them before I buy any more brads, because to me brads are brads. So and then the colors I'm using for the galaxy part are, let's just move that brad out of that way. I thought it was actually Magenta Madness, Melon Mambo, but it's not. I've used Polished Pink, so that will do. And we just stamp randomly. So I've got the grid paper that you can buy as part of the Stamparatus stuff underneath me tonight, because I cleaned up over the weekend and I found this, and I should be using this a little bit more. So I'm gonna start with the lightest color, and I do want to have another play with this, but I think, hi Marie, just this stamp set itself will make pretty cards, I think. So you just randomly stamp, and if you don't have this stamp, you can randomly blend these colors together too. But I just find I am a bit off screen. There, move this pad up. I'll move the colors down the side. Hi Sue. I just find this a bit easier to control for me, because I am a control freak. So and you just keep twisting and turning. And then with the last color, kind of fill in the blanks. Oh, I'm not on the thing. It's cool, isn't it, Leanne? I really like it, because I'm not one for too many flowers, although this catalogue I seem to have bought so many stamp sets with flowers. But I actually bought this stamp set solely for this image, because I really like the paper that comes in this kit, in this suite, and I figure I could get that because it like everyone's doing that alcohol blending thing on vellum and stuff like that, and I'm gonna try that as well. Sorry, I'll bring that down a bit. But again, I'm a control freak, and if it doesn't go where I want it to go, then I really get cranky with it. So this, I can control that. I can control where I stamp that. So that looks pretty cool all on its own. So, and that's how I started. And then we'll close up these. My upline and I were just talking about the stamp set, and she would love to make this card. Ah, that's all right, Julie. She can case my card. You can show her the video if she doesn't know how to do it. I was Googling over the weekend all these ideas on Galaxy. I know, that's my thought too, Glenda, because I tried all these other ideas with Galaxy and watched all these other videos, and I just got into one big mess. But this was my backing sheet from the 5 other card fronts that we did do. So this still does create a bit of a mess, but it's on a piece of paper and it's easier for me to control. So the colours I've got are Pacific Point, Misty Moonlight. I just need to put them in the right order. Night of Navy, and then I will open, I do finish off with my Memento. Okay, but we're just gonna put some of them over. And we start with, now I've used this quite a lot. Because I want loads of ink, I am rubbing this on the ink pad to get loads of ink on there. Maloney Newman is my outline. Ah, nice. And then just go over, and you go over the whole image, okay? You want the whole thing covered, and you just do it again, and the color will build up. And I did end up with all 4 fingertips blue as well, but it's slowly worn off today after a shower and washing up and washing my hands 3 or 4 times today. So I shouldn't get that blue tonight, only doing 1. All right, so even that looks pretty cool, right? So then I'm going in with Misty Moonlight. And this time I am still going over quite a lot of the area, but I may end up leaving some of the middle with just that lighter blue on there. We'll see. Each one's going to be different. And it may not look like you're actually adding a lot of colour until you turn it around like I just did. How many cards are you making? Just this one, Julie, because this one's going to take quite a while to do. So just the 1 card tonight. Usually I make 3, which are then my 3 blog posts for the following week. I'm just working up a bit of a sweat because we've just turned the heater on because it's so cold here. Now I have to pull up my sleeves. But because this one's quite detailed, just the 1 tonight. All right. And you can still see some of those colours throughout. And then we're going to move on to Night of Navy. I am getting some blue fingerprints. and each one will be different. Like my first one, I didn't like so much until I left it overnight, and then I saw it the next day and I'm like, oh, that actually turned out really well, which is then why I went and made 4 other ones. But they've ended up darker than my first one. So sometimes I think you just need to, can you hear that I'm working up a sweat for doing this? Last night when I was doing this, I wasn't talking while doing it. But I think sometimes you just need to walk away from it, because it looks like a big mess now. And you're looking at it going, this is not working. And I think that's what's kind of happened with some of my backgrounds in the past. That I'm just like, not so happy with them. All right. I'm just gonna darken that just a little bit more in the center there. And then the last touch is to come in with Memento. Talking and working and breathing. Yeah. So the black is just for the edges. You don't want to go too far in, because otherwise it's going to take over. Now I did try this because initially I thought I would be smart. I try stamping on black cardstock, and you can't even see where I've tried doing that. So that didn't work. So then I had to go to the white cardstock, because I thought I was gonna like bypass some of this step, because I'm not the best at blending, but this way I'm only having to blend like the whole background. I don't have to worry about anything else. Whereas if you add the colors in the background with the blending as well, to me it messed with my issues too much. This way I can control it a lot better. So I'm trying not to shake the camera too much. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm just gonna get a baby wipe and try and rub some of that ink off my fingers. And that's how I've been cleaning my brush as well, because there's still quite a lot of ink in there. And this one I've actually got ink all the way there, so I could get soap and water and go and do that. My brushes haven't left my desk. This is kind of all I've done to get that excess ink off there. Then I sprayed, and I know this is retired, but I had my shimmer spray, and this spritzer won't spray anymore. It's clogged up. I need to clean it. But I had this the rose gold shimmer. I could wear gloves, Julie, but then that would defeat the purpose of showing that I've been crafting. So I've got this tiny little bit left of the rose gold shimmer, and this spritzer was working. So this has just got alcohol in it, so isocol, and just spray over the card. I don't think you can have too much, because you know the Galaxy's really shiny and spray and pretty. I'm just going to wipe my shimmer spray off there. It will curl the card. Then the other thing that I did, which is this block here, is then this white craft ink. So when you buy the white ink pad, you get the craft refill with it, because the ink pad comes uninked. So I'm just, because this will be hard because I've left it out overnight, I'm just gonna pour some more ink. You don't need very much, just a blob. And I did this last night and I got a bit forceful with my tapping and ended up with white paint on my shirt, but tonight we'll try not to be so forceful. So I'm just adding a whole heap of water here, so it's quite runny, like, because this is quite thick. And then just get so you can have as little as you want or as much as you want on there. And then what I did after that was also then, just with the same paintbrush but no white in it, just kind of did that just to get the water to leave some other splotches on the cards. I don't know whether you can see. I'll get one of my other cards out. So you've got the white, because the white will eventually fade. Like, it looks quite bright there, but this craft ink, when it dries, it goes quite muted. And here, so you've got the splotches and then the clear splotches, like where the water is, you can see here, like it's taken the color out, even there. And it just, yeah, it gives it a pretty cool background. So then you need to let that dry. And because I've already prepared all mine earlier, I don't have any unprepared cards. So we'll do a few other things first while that's drying, because I don't have my heat tool either. Well, I have a heat tool, I just don't have a PowerPoint near me that I can plug it into. So I've then also pre-stamped and coloured, because nobody needs to see me colour, the astronaut and the rockets. So in this stamp set, you get a girl astronaut and a boy astronaut. You get a dog with a helmet on, and you get a rocket ship. And then you get the little planets, plus then you get loads of sentiments. So I really like this, and I've pretty much used nearly all the sentiments. And then I've teamed this up with the Give It a Whirl dies. So we might just try and move them over a little bit, because these Give It a Whirl dies, I didn't realize how many dies would be in this pack. Yes, meet the Jetsons. So this, I've moved them to magnetic sheets. They don't come on magnetic sheets. This is just how I choose to store mine, because they're easier to get off rather than the plastic sheeting that comes with it. Because sometimes I find then you can bend your dies. So this is for your card front, and what should happen is, we'll do it on this piece that's not wet, because that piece is quite flimsy. So this is a normal card layer front for Australian card bases. You would need, when you make a card with this, you need another layer underneath. So that pink layer is the same as this, and then I've cut the galaxy 1/8 of an inch smaller, because you need to pop this up on dimensionals behind this. So what you would normally do is have this over, and this would cut your card front. So this is stitched as well, it cuts. This leaves a dent plus this hole, and I didn't like it that it left a dent across there, because it marks all your good work that you've just done. Plus, this is made for American size card bases, right? So that is frustrating me no end, because now my card is like half an inch short and looks ridiculous on a normal size card front, because you don't want to make it any skinnier, because then you're going to have this wheel, too much of this wheel show. So I've got the same issue with the scallop contour dies as well with the biggest one. It's made for American size, not Australian side card bases. So my little hack is, forget this, really. All I did with this, all I used this bit for was I lined up, I'll just bring this back in. I lined up my card base where I kind of thought that I wanted this. Then where is my take my pick tool? Get my take my pick tool and put the little hole in there. All right, and then you can ditch that, you don't need that. Okay. And just make that a little bit bigger so you can see it, because this to me does not work for Australian size card bases. If you want to adjust your card base to fit American card bases, go for it. I don't do that, because then I can't get 2 card bases out of one piece of A4 cardstock. So I adjust all my cards to Australian size card bases. And then the only other thing that I've used here is this, if I can pull it up, this wheel. So this wheel, run this through your die cutting machine. And you get this. And when you run it through, it actually puts the indents, I don't know whether you can see this on camera, but it actually puts the indents in so that when you're spinning it, and this is why I made one beforehand, before coming on camera, because you need to make sure that when you're sticking your sentiments in, or your pictures, whatever you're choosing to use, that they're gonna fit in the die cut shape that you've used. So that's what those indents are to help you do, is to line up those sentiments. Now, so because I've used this and this, then the die cut that goes with that is this, right? Now you can also use, there are other shapes. So there is a round shape, there's a square, rectangle shape, and there's a heart shape as well. There's this scallop circle shape which would go around that. There's nothing really to go around the rectangle piece or the heart piece. I haven't tried any of them yet. I've just stuck with the easy option, which is this. So then what you need to do, once you've cut out this, then you need to get your card base. Oh, we can put this back because we don't need that. Your galaxy piece, and then you need to run this through. Let me put that up there. Through the die cutting machine. But what you need to do, you need to line up this circle here with the circle that you've done, okay? So let's bring in the die cutting machine. Now, if you want, you could sit there and use your magnetic plate, or you could put some post-it note or some washi tape on this to make sure it stays straight and it lines up. I'm pretty confident that that's not going to move too much. So I'm going to stick my plate down. Now, ideally, you would wait until your piece has dried completely, especially if you went as crazy as I did with the shimmer spray. I do realize the shimmer spray has retired, but there is plenty of demos that would still have, or customers that still have 10 ton of their shimmer spray, and this is another thing to use it on. It's not too bad, Megan, once you've done one, but I really like, often I try to wing it before coming on camera, or just do it on camera, but this time I actually made sure I had a practice run before doing it, because I thought I didn't want to look like a complete dick if I stuffed it up. But it's not, I'm probably making it sound a little bit more complicated than it is, because it's not really that complicated. So then we put, it might be if you use some of those other shapes, but to me this is the least complicated shape to use, because it lined up with that wheel perfect. I don't know how you do the spinny thing with if you're using other shapes. So then this is just rubbish, but I saw a card earlier that then used these offcut bits as Japanese fans on a card, so I thought that was pretty cool. So then when you go to stamp, you need to make sure you've got your sentiments and your spot lined up. So I've got my circle there, and I've got my arms going out there and there. So I want to make sure that when I stamp, I'm stamping the right way and straight between those bits. And then I'll turn this, because the wheel is always going to turn, so you don't want to have your sentiments on the side, because then when it turns it's going to look a bit silly. Then have a Stella Birthday. You could, I don't know whether the dog or the rocket could fit in here, but once you've done it, let's see, the dog, you could get some of him. I don't know that you'd get all of him, like I've just stuck in there. And the rocket, you wouldn't get all the rocket either, so that might look a bit funny. But you could put images in there, you don't have to just do sentiments. I've seen this card done with the turtle stamp, and then this flips around, so then you've got the bird from the turtle, the little turtles in these twisty things and stuff. There's so many things you can do. I also wanted to do one which I have seen on Pinterest, but it was in my head before I saw it on Pinterest. I just haven't had a chance to play, is to do it with this set. This is why I bought it initially. And like, it's, where's this? Today's plan, consume, and then spin. Hi Debbie, cocktails, chocolate, coffee, cookies, and have that on the spinny thing. So just have the pictures and stuff on there, because I think those words would be too big, but those pictures will be good. And then put them away. And I have coloured the stars in, and I have used Mango Melody. I didn't want to buy more. Yes, you do. Julie, you always want to buy more. There's always new stuff to buy. And I know Mango Melody retired, but I didn't realise until after this, because I didn't think blends would retire, but I went looking to do my stuff for the blog post and it's retired. I'm like, oh, damn it. But that's what I've used. Thanks for sharing. Oh, that's reminded me, Marie, I couldn't do the giveaway at the beginning because Adrian hadn't organised it, so he's just done it just before. And Julie, you're tonight's winner. So I'll pop something in the post for you, Julie. I haven't posted Angie's from last week yet either, but all good. So then I've got a few other steps. Now, I thought this looked like a moon. I was trying to do everything because there's a moon set in the catalogue, which I actually thought I had purchased, but it's on my wish list. So I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? And it was all too hard. And then I found this, which you're probably thinking, what is that? Because I was looking in the catalogue and I thought this is the mercury acetate or glass designer acetate, and I thought it actually came in silver. It doesn't. It comes in the hydrangea. It's the stuff that came with the hydrangea. So one colour is Rococo Rose and the other is Highland Heather. But on the back of it, it's silver. So if you don't want the colours, just use the silver. And that is carrying over. So that's in the new catalogue. So then what I've done is used it with these. And this, if you haven't got these, I think these are must have. These are, what are these called? Get it right. Basic border dies. So I've used this one here and I've just put it in my big shot of an angle. So what I did, I cut this strip at 3 7/8 down because these sheets come in 12 by 12. So I cut this in by 3 7/8 in one strip, and then I just put this on it at an angle and cut it, and then I cut the next piece, and I actually got the 6 moons out of one strip. So I thought that was very cost effective because you only get 4 sheets of that acetate stuff in that pack, so you don't want to go wasting it. But this gives you clouds. This one, this is like a zigzag. This is a bit like mountains. So you can cut these and then use them as templates for blending and whatever. And then I've seen some really pretty cards with that I want to make and recreate, but I just need time to do that. And then I have seen one card made with this, but I don't know how often I would use that big angle. But everything else I think I will use. And then with this moon, there is a plastic backing on it. So you just need to make sure that you pull that off. Now, I always thought the backing went on the colour that you wanted, but unless it's on both sides, because I've only been pulling it off the silver. No, that's scratching the colour. Okay, to me, it's only on this, it's only on the silver. When I'm doing that on this colour, I'm scratching that off. So I need to maybe move this up a little bit so it's not so zoomed in on me. Yeah, so thanks Megan for confirming. So then I just stuck this down on my card and it looks like a moon. So I just used double-sided tape. I'm sure seal would work, but I just used double-sided tape for this. And if you want, you could have a pink moon or a purple moon. I mean, we had a pink moon not long ago, didn't we? So it doesn't have to be the silver moon. But I thought, like, this does all the work. It looks like a moon. It looks like the craters are in it. Thanks for sharing, Kerry. So I think I cut my strip at 4 inches and then decided to cut my card base down. When you're at the top of the screen, you are off to us. Yeah, I've just moved it up just a little bit more Sorry, Julie, I'd had it zoomed in for the class I did. So then we need to join these pieces together. Now I've got these brads, as I said in the beginning of the video, I have not purchased the Stampin' Up! Brads because I've got 10,000 of these that I need to use before I buy any more brads, because brads are brads. Pop that through. Now these are heart brads and I chose to get the white ones. These come in a pack. I've got white, red, pink. I wanted the white ones on here because I thought they went with it. And then I put the brad through the cardstock first, and then I put the backing on. Oh no, before I do that, we need to stick the hole punch here. So the other part of that template, which I don't use, if you choose to use it, it will cut this side twirly bit for you. This bit here. But because I choose not to use this because I don't want that size card base, what I did, I got one of my circle punches, which I know has retired, but we've all have them. And I eyeballed down, well actually I measured 1.5 inches down but I've found since making them that that's probably a little bit too far down. I'd probably like to move that up just a little bit. So I might do that and just go in like, I know, a 15th bit. Just enough. It's like a little finger hole, like when you do boxes and stuff like that. Poodles does it all the time on her boxes to give you a finger hole to open them up. And that's pretty much what I did, because I don't measure too much. But that kind of, then when you put the brad in, just make sure that you've cut enough in there that you can see the scallopy bit so you can turn it. I'm really struggling to talk tonight to make sense. Anyways, so we've got card front with some, oh, where's my seal? Oh, here it comes. What size circle punch, please? I used the 1.5 inch circle punch. I think it's a good size. I did line it up, and because I kind of went off this. You could probably even do the 1.25. I think the 1 inch might be a bit too small, but the 1.25 would work. Now let's stick this card base down. Now, because you need your circle to move, you need to pop this all up on dimensionals. So you need, but you want to make sure your dimensionals are steer clear of this circle, because you want that circle to spin freely. Because I've made so many of these, I have gone through quite a few dimensionals. So now I've got the edge bits, so I can go up a bit higher than I could with a full dimensional, because these are a bit skinnier. And then I have been sticking, oh look, I've got one bit left. I have been sticking a bit here just to make sure that the whole card stays popped up a bit so that we can spin that circle freely. Now pull all them off. Make sure we're the right way, the card and this. And we've got like an 1/8 of an inch border. Pop that down. And then just make sure we are still able to move. Now if I can do it with my nail, but my nail's a bit thick. I've got to get my nails done Wednesday night, so they're a bit thick. So that's that, and then we just need to decorate. So I've already coloured because nobody needs to see me colouring. And then I've stamped this other sentiment, which says, celebrating you is a blast. I've just popped that up. You will need, if you cut it as thin as I have, you will need to use mini dimensionals. And I've just stamped that, and then I've used my trimmer to get it skinny. So I don't know what size that is. I just do it. I use my the mini trimmer, just cut it until I'm happy with it, till it's as skinny as I want it. Now I did find that I had to stick a little mini dimensional in the tail here because the big one was too big. And I've got the rocket taking off. And the little girl on the moon. Ta-da! So, they are my cute cards. So I've got a girl version and a boy version with the pink and the yellow, or the mango melody. And that is using this set, the Stella set, Stella Birthday, with the Give It a Whirl dies, which are fabulous, and then my version of a galaxy background using the Artistically inked, because I'm a control freak and blending wasn't really working for me so much. So thank you ladies for joining in. Hope you learnt something or enjoyed the cards. I now have that and the other 4 puffin cards that I made over the weekend. So I now have 10 new birthday cards for kids. So I should be right for a couple of weeks for Hunter's birthdays now. But usually I have a little bit more of a stash than 10. And for those that missed those puffin cards, they're the 4 that I made over the weekend. And then also made 1 cocktail card. I want to make a few more of those, but didn't get a chance. So thank you everyone for joining in. Hope you enjoyed it and have a lovely week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.